symbol of excellence in sports entertainment.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? The Job Guys back with you one more time. Nitro Nick is here. Ryan is here. Thank you for being here as we review the Clash at the Castle, second one they've ever done in the UK again, this time actually in Drew McIntyre's home country of Scotland. Would he get screwed again? There was a lot of people, Nick, that were still upset about the finish a couple of years ago, how like Roman won. And then they did a goofy thing where they were like singing after the match. Remember that?
With the boxer. Wasn't the famous boxer in the ring?
Really odd. I did not think, at least I thought they were going to, but the better part of me said, they're not going to screw him again, are they? Well, they did. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
3 hours, 5-match card once again. Your thoughts on overall the pay-per-view. I will very quickly tell you, after about 15 straight big-time positive pay-per-view reviews for WWE, this is now my second straight negative one. Your thoughts, Nick?
I did not like it either, Ryan. I thought it echoed a lot more independent scene. The fans were great. They were loud, I guess. The chanting is getting a little old in the matches. Stadium looked nice. But no, Ryan, I didn't like this. I really felt I wasted a Saturday watching this because some of the matches I thought were so obvious. And then there was one, maybe I think I was like, what are we doing here? No, I thought, again, I'm with you, Ryan. This is really, I know it's a downtime. This is really a bad downtime. Maybe it's because we're coming off the high of such a great WrestleMania. It's hard to live up to it, but boy, oh boy, man. I found myself looking at my phone. I found myself like looking at the clock, like when is this going to be over? I'm really not into any of these matches, and they're not doing anything to get me involved in them.
I agree. And this time of year is normally the downtime of year. You're waiting for SummerSlam. Obviously, the run to SummerSlam is not as good as the run to WrestleMania, but I wasn't expecting a lot out of this pay-per-view. I didn't think it'd be bad or anything. After watching it, though, I thought it was bad. I did not think this was good. There was nothing here I cared about whatsoever. Some of the decisions that were made, I was not happy with. And I will say, and I'm probably in the minority, here. I don't care about your soccer chants. It's annoying. It was really bad on SmackDown when AJ and Cody were trying to talk and they were singing whatever the heck they were singing. It's cool and everything, but it's not like everybody, this crowd was electric. Well, you've never watched soccer. This is what they do. And we talked about it in France with the France show. This is what they do all throughout soccer matches. So to us, it's different. And you may think, they're into it. No, they're not. This is no different than like what chants in America. These people are putting themselves over. They are not paying attention to a word these people are saying, which we saw with the AJ Cody thing on Friday night. They're not paying attention to what they're saying. They're screaming over top of them. So how could they possibly hear? They don't care. They're putting themselves over and they're doing their chants and everything. And frankly, I'm sorry. I don't want to be that guy, but I don't like it. And it's too much for me.
And Ryan, I don't think you're saying anything you haven't been saying. This is not a regional or country thing. Me and you have not liked it when they've hijacked shows here in America.
Ever.
I don't like this idea with you. I'm with you that we are part of the show. I get
you are, but you're not.
We cheer, and the cheering helps. The booing helps. We saw during COVID. Definitely better with fans than without fans.
No
100%.
Yeah.
But it does get annoying. I can back you on that. I'm trying to listen to a feud develop, or I'm trying to listen to a story, or they're trying to get a point across to me, and I can't hear because they're chanting.
And I do, and the other problem is, okay, yeah, it's not all about America, which I totally agree with, but I don't know what you're saying. So that also is another thing that doesn't like, I don't know that song they kept singing Friday night and then kept singing again during the Cody match. I don't know what you're saying. So it does nothing for me. Anyway, AJ Cody starts this show. World championship match. They did the whole thing. And again, I've ripped on this before. I'll do it again. If you do it all the time, it's not special. The whole walking into the building, I don't care what you did at 10 a.m. Hey, I'm in a Honda Civic and here I come. And okay, here and there, when you do it every show, who cares?
For Triple H, it's very Vincey, isn't it? Like to find something the fans like. Oh, remember when they first started doing it? We're like, oh, this is kind of cool. The wrestlers are coming in, and now it's down your throat. Here it is. Yeah. Every freaking wrestler walking in, they all, it just, they take it and they just overuse it.
What really bothered me here was Cody, and he is on the camera and they're like, Cody Rhodes, the world champion, is walking in, and he's walking. And then all of a sudden it's like he realized the camera was on him. His smile is so fake. It's so fake. It's completely put on. And I don't know how people think this. I don't get it. It's so fake. It's like watching DDP when he came to WWE and he was the Bob Patterson, a self-help guy. Like, when remember he'd sit there and he'd go, oh, God. He would go, yeah, that's Cody. Man, that's Cody. And he literally did it. Go back and watch the first second of this paper.
You don't think that's maybe just who he is or something, man?
I don't like it. If it is, it's bad. It's bad. Anyway, you talk about the match. One of the worst finishes I've ever seen.
It was. I tell you this, I got a little excited because they were going on first. I'm like, okay, this is 100% on first. Drew's going last. They're going to switch the belt.
Yeah.
That was the first thing that went through my head.
Yep.
Not to be, obviously. And then we got introduced to our first botch of the night under talent name.
Women's Tag Team Champion, talent name.
Talent name. So Cody got introduced to his talent name.
You don't see those mistakes too often in WWE. And if you missed it, which I have friends that did, they put up what we call in the business a super or a lower third, which is the name bar that comes up. Well, they always have them generic, so then you can fill in the name. Well, the generic one accidentally popped up and it said talent name. And when I talk about Cody being generic, well, how about that Freudian slip? Mr. Generic is named talent name.
Oh, man. Yeah, and I didn't even think the match was that great, and you know what I noticed, because I wasn't really into the match, the announcers, and maybe I'm not, they don't call the match. They just talk. There's no emphasizing, into the turnbuckle, his lower, what Gorilla say, the lower protuberous or something like that.
That was the bump on the back of the head.
Yeah,
the
or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
he would make some garbage. It was funny, but they just kind of have a conversation. They're selling the story of these two. I'm already supposed to have bought into the story of these two. This is the settlement match, So that kind of was bugging me on there. Cody's mom. She's got to be part of the match, Ryan. We've got to get away from Dusty and Cody's mom.
That's all he has.
I know. I thought for a minute when he got handcuffed, I thought she was going to be the one that was going to come in and unhandcuff him and get him out of there. Turned out to be even worse than that, because AJ Styles, for some reason, just leaves the key in the middle of you have him beat. Throw it. Get rid of it. Do something. Put it in your pocket. Put it in your shoe. Yeah. Roll it to the outside. I don't know. And then he struggles out of that. Everything in this match, I don't know the 3 Crossroads. Dude, Cody almost killed himself on the last one, Sloke. He hit the chair.
That's what I said too. I was like, he just hit
and you
himself.
could see, oh man, you could see when he got up.
He did. He kind of, yeah,
was like looking, man, did I cut myself or something here? Like he really got himself going. I will still say the finish to Hell in the Cell, Seth versus the Fiend, is the worst, like hardcore match style
or
ending
anything.
to anything. Yeah, it's like the worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
This is like right there. He doesn't make him say he just threatens him with stairs.
After everything else they've done in the match, after every other match AJ's ever been in his entire life, the threat of some stairs and some guy holding them in front of him gets him to give up his world championship shot.
He's undefeated in I Quit match. He's beat Booker. He's beat Chris Daniels. And he's
fought all over the world.
Yeah, Sandman,
all sorts of crazy
I can't
X
remember,
matches in TNA, and this is what gets him to quit.
What a terrible finish, man!
Absolutely,
and then, no, Ryan, but it gets better.
Asinine.
It gets better.
Does it?
Then the bell is called, and the face smashes him with the stairs anyway. What is going on here, man?
The good guy.
The good guy. Well, AJ is pinned to the ropes.
Oh, he did what I wanted him to do. He gave up.
And then it wasn't even that bad. It's like, that's what you gave up on? A bump to the head on stairs?
Well, and then he hits him. And then AJ just gets up and rolls out of the ring and walks home. Oh, it wasn't all that bad.
Can we restart this?
This is one of the worst things I have ever seen. I'm telling you,
man.
This is awful, dude. And I text my boy John, who told me that Cody was going to become Stone Cold once he got the belt, and this company was going to take off and blah, blah, blah. And I just text him, I'm like, you still believe that, dude? This is brutal. I'm sorry, man.
Ryan, I don't know. I can't substantiate this because it was one of my, if I see these things on social media where people just, I read that there are some, not a lot, people backstage that are starting to get a little bit worried about Cody,
really,
the direction, how big of a star he really can be, especially since you're coming off the Roman Reigns era, previous to that, John Cena era. Like, can he achieve what those guys did? And
the answer is no.
Yeah, I'm not sure he can, Ryan. I know you're a hard no. I like Cody more than you. I'm like, it's getting old with me as well, but I do agree. I don't see this guy on, to be honest with you, and I hate to say, he seems like Shawn Michaels big. And I know people are like, Shawn Michaels is
that's
great.
A good comparison.
The people are like, Shawn Michaels is great. He is to us wrestling fans. Remember, the company almost went out of business when he was the champion.
When he was the champ.
So I mean, he's over.
I don't know. He's over, and the kids like him and everything, and does, and he signs autographs, and he hands out his things, and he waits after shows, and he signs everybody. So I think that's all awesome.
But I think he's ceiling. Yeah, I think he's hit a ceiling though, Ryan. I don't know.
There's no doubt
that this character.
There's nothing left to do. Look what he's doing now. There's nothing left. He had one story. You mentioned his mom is down there again. He had one story, my mom and dad. And he told that story is over. Well, now what?
I think he had, when he came in, there was story. He had the feud with Rollins that was pretty good. And you had that back and forth Rollins anti-AEW.
We did it.
We did that. He got hurt, left for a while. I think that actually benefited. Having him gone. Then he comes back, wins the Rumble, doesn't win at Mania's, tied up with the Bloodline for the rest of the year. Bloodline back to, Rock feud. He's in these bigger I'm with you. It's going to be difficult. I mean, everybody's got Orton in their back pocket. Orton's the next guy.
But even that, we know what's going to happen there. Orton's not going to beat him. It'll be interesting. It'll be good, but the finish there.
Will it though? Is Orton again the bad guy? Cody's the good guy. We know Orton's not going to lose. And you're going to divide the crowd because Orton has been what you have termed as flared.
He's
in
been
a certain
flared.
like there are a large portion of this audience. I don't know how many. They're not going to boo him. I don't care if he comes up.
What flared means that don't know.
Yeah.
He's been around. He's 45 years old. He's been around so long. People are going to cheer him regardless.
They respect
just
him
because,
and
hey,
they
man,
should.
you're Ric Flair. We're going to cheer.
And this
for
guy's
you.
Randy freaking Orton.
Yeah.
I mean, he to what Flair was to that generation. I mean, I'm not putting Orton on his impact level in the industry, but Orton's a pretty freaking big dude if you were like 8 in 2004.
Right.
Or something like that, or 6, but no, match was awful. I think it's one of the worst I Quit. It might be the worst I Quit match I've ever seen in my life.
Long time, and rightfully so. But I want to hit on a couple things before we leave here. One of the things they keep trying to do with Cody, because he is so freaking bland, and because he is that maybe since Hogan, and I don't even think Hogan was this bad, the just run-of-the-mill vanilla baby face. They're trying to give him an edge. And they were really trying to give him an edge here, especially at the end of the match. He doesn't have an edge because I don't think he's capable of having an edge. Like, again, I go back, and this is why I brought it up, to the beginning when he's walking in. And everything is so, like, put on with this guy. Nothing is, it feels like, even when he's walking down to the ring and he does the whoa, it's so scripted. And he does the Bret Hart thing, but it's like a robot is doing the Bret Hart thing. He's going, come on. Like when Bret did it, you're like, oh, that's what Bret does. This guy, it's like he's playing wrestler. They're trying to give him an edge so he doesn't seem like just the run-of-the-mill vanilla white meat baby face. But I don't think he's capable. And then by trying to do that, you made him a heel when he blasted AJ with the steps. The guy begged for help. No, don't hit me. Don't hit me. Bonk. Hits him anyway. I mean, this finish is so bad. Pat Patterson is rolling over in his grave, dude. Like that's how bad this finish was. And, AJ, he teased retirement after the other night. He may as well retire here because he looked like a buffoon. Like, I don't know how you recover from this. How does AJ recover from this? He looks like a freaking buffoon after this.
Yeah, he quit from a threat.
Yeah. And then got hit anyway, and it wasn't all that bad.
And rolled out and walked away.
And rolled out and walked home. Yeah, not good. All right. Speaking of not good, women's tag team match. We got a triple threat, as I have named them, the female Road Warriors. Jade and Bianca look like the invincible duo. Not so much. They face Shayna Baszler and somebody else, and then Elba Fire and the other girl, who I literally do not know who these people are. I've heard of their names, know nothing about them because I don't watch NXT. And they're from Scotland, and they win the tag team titles. Now, before we get into how stupid that is, the first thing I thought of right away was like, well, Drew's
losing.
That's all I thought of.
The crowd.
You had to give the crowd something because you had them, Piper, who's from Scotland, and why are there balloons going? Did you just see that? What in?
They won the tag titles, man. They won the tag titles.
They won. Hey, celebrate. Elba Fire. What is it? My birthday? What in the world?
Yeah.
What just happened?
That's how excited we are here at the Job Guys podcast for the title change.
Well, those balloons were more exciting than this finish. Yeah, that's all I thought of, Nick, was, well, they had to give the crowd something since 3 Scots were up for belts. They're not all going to win. And that just told me Drew's not winning. And it kind of ruined the night in match number 2. It told me the finish and that Punk was going to do something and blah, blah, blah.
Ryan, the first thing I thought before it even started is there's 4 women in this, the challengers, who, when you have a 5 card PLE, how are you all on this card? I'm sorry, Ryan. These people who are new are not. Maybe they could be good down the road. I don't know
but
from
they
all of
ain't
them.
yet.
They are. How am I watching these people? Who's the last NXT person to come up that's really lit the place on fire? I'm trying to think.
Well, and somebody that wasn't big on the indies beforehand, like a
Right.
Kevin Owens or something,
Yes, Kevin Roman, those guys, Ambrose, before they were there, were indie guys.
they were
Yeah. Um,
they were in
these
ROH.
guys that they're trying to make down there, Ryan, I'm not. I mean, maybe Fry and Dawn or something, but to me, they look like they should be on Impact. They really do. I mean, I'm just, they're not over to me. They're like indie people. I don't want to see them.
Dude, they just got on the main roster like 2 weeks ago. And granted, Jade and Bianca didn't get pinned, but still, like,
I mean, are they just, my guess is, Ryan, I was thinking this, they may just flip the titles back.
they better squash them. They better squash them.
I think that was maybe just a pop, because I wrote this. Why end Cargill and Bianca run? Question mark. Is Jade Cargill ready for singles? My answer is no. Like,
Dude, they just won the belts like a month ago.
And she's not, I'm sorry, folks, she's not good. Like, I mean, I don't know what they did from the time they signed her from AEW to the time they debuted her and really got her rolling. Because I don't see a whole lot of improvement from what was in AEW. I mean, did AEW?
Some people just don't have it.
That's what I'm wondering. Or I'm wondering, did her original training people working with damage her that bad in how they taught her that it is going to take a decent amount of time to undrill that style of work ethic? Let
me tell you this, and this will explain maybe that I think it doesn't matter who trains her, not to give QT Marshall any credit, but old WCW fans know this joke, and we say it 30 years later when Sting, the fake Sting, comes out and the fake Sting is splashing at the War Games. Then the real Sting comes out and they look exactly the same, but the real Sting then does a stinger splash in the corner and he gets way up in the air. The Cobra, the fake Sting, was just kind of splashing him. Real Sting comes out. He's looking like Michael Jordan out here. And then Tony Schiavone. There's no question about the elevation of those stinger splashes.
That Sting.
Well, Jade has incorporated, since coming to WWE, the splash. She gets about 1 inch off the ground. It's horrible.
I've got better ups.
And way better.
I can't jump, folks.
Dude, it's bad. And what that tells me is she's obviously athletic and she played college basketball. But that kind of is strange to me. She played college basketball.
Which is,
and when you watch her do a splash, it looks like she's the most unathletic person on earth. It's very bad. And that tells me she doesn't have
Zeus was like, you got to get better, sister. Like, I mean, that's where we're at.
I would start with cutting a big Z in the side of your head.
But that's where we're at. Like, I mean, Nikolai Volkov probably splashes better than that. I mean, it was bad, Ryan, and she's missing a lot of. It's not. It looks very difficult. Does that make sense? Yep. Everything she does looks extremely She looks like a kid in class.
It's like a chore.
Frustrated on a test, trying to take it and doing the best they can, but it's just a D- test. There's nothing I can do to help you, kid. You don't know the material. I don't know what we're gonna do here. That's why I was hoping she would run with Bianca. They would dominate, maybe up until like even the Rumble.
Well, they should.
And then they split them up and they can have this match at Mania. But because as far as what I consider and I want to see in a WWE ring, she's not a WWE wrestler in what she's doing. I mean, and Ryan, this is coming from a guy who you know me and
Doesn't
me
care
and you,
about wrestling. Yeah.
me and you get on. There's people you don't. I love Lex Luger, and I know people just signed out right now. I like Bobby Lashley. I like Hulk Hogan.
Why
I
are
like
subscribers zero?
yeah. it's,
Yeah, she's
this
a
T-shirt. I don't
what
even
we
know.
used to call a body guy, and she's a
Yeah,
body girl. Like, look at her. She has the greatest look maybe in the history of wrestling, guy or girl.
argue.
I mean,
Yes,
she
yes.
looks like a freaking
$1,000,000.
superhero. And she's beautiful and she's jacked. She can't work though, man. It's tough.
Oh,
It's
man.
a chore. As much of a chore is it for her, like is what you're saying. It's like a chore in there. She's trying real hard. It's a chore to watch. That said, they shouldn't have lost.
No,
And
no.
they
There's still. I
should
don't
come
think.
back.
I think
And
there's still something there.
they better squash these girls.
Murder.
Like I'm talking less than a minute and get their title back. Whatever it's Monday or Friday.
Yep, I agree.
All right, next one. Pretty good match here. Sammy,
It's a great match.
IC title match. Gable, probably the match of the night, I would suspect by a long range.
As far as moves,
I do want this feud to be over with and everything. And like, let's go. But the whole match, again, was based around Gable and his people. What's going to happen? Is Otis finally going to turn? What are we doing? He did a little bit. Nick, go ahead.
I just didn't. It's a little too much storytelling in the ring for me, Ryan, on this one. As Chad keeps yelling at Maxine and Otis, the ref is right there. Like
Right.
we can't not unsee the ref, right? And then when they distract him and she's supposed to hit him with the title, she has the title and she's supposed to smash Sammy. Chad's just standing there upset because it took forever and she won't do it. The ref is still just staring at Gable.
Right.
Like you don't see that he's looking behind him at something going on. Like little stuff like that. I know I'm nitpicking, but it's a little like the ref can't be that dumb. Like
Right.
I mean, it makes everything
The
look
ref
bad.
knows what's going on too. He has a television.
Right.
He's watched the whole feud.
Yeah, and I just don't know what you do with Gable now. I read a stat. He's 0-5 versus Sami Zayn
Is he?
for this title. Some of those may be house shows. I don't know. But Ryan,
He's going to feud with Otis, but
Otis has got to win the feud, though.
Right.
And what do you do? Like, this guy is just dropping. I mean, from what I heard, he's very happy with Triple H. I think he re-signed.
Yes, he did. He said
back.
he did. Yep.
But boy, Ryan, what do you do? He went after the mid-card belt, heavy, hard, multiple times. Versus Gunther, unable to win it. Versus Sami Zayn, unable to win it. Now he's going to be I'm sure he's going to blame Otis and everything. Otis has to win. What do you do with him after all of this? I thought he was going to win tonight, and then the break, Otis and him would be over the IC title.
And you can even like build that feud even more. Look what I did despite you screwing up during the match. I'm the man. I'm the champ, blah, blah, blah. And then they get even more angry with him because his ego was already at a 20. And now that he's the champ, it's at a 50. And they break up.
And they seem to be speeding it really fast too. Like I don't know. I don't know, man. Otis seems like he's got a pop.
He's over, man. He's always been over. There's something about him, like anything in life, the funny fat guy everybody likes. And they've liked him going back to, when he was with Mandy Rose, man. People, they want to cheer this guy. Now, should he have ever won Money in Bank? No. Is he ever going to be world champion? No. But there is definitely something there, and they have not used it properly now since like the pandemic. So hopefully they do something. A distraction finish as Otis picks up Maxine after Gable smoked her in the leg on purpose, like chop blocked her. Otis gets mad, picks her up, leaves, and Gable's like, "Where are you going? Where are you going?" Distraction finish, and that's the end. Next match, women's championship. Bayley, the champ, taking on Piper Niven, who is also, again, from Glasgow. So she's over. The whole thing here, though, and I thought it was kind of funny. They said it at the thing Friday for the fans, like the big gathering. I don't know if you watched it. Piper was out there, and Michael Cole goes, "Now, there are some that say you don't deserve this match. What have you done other than just beating up Bailey to get this match?" I'm like, yeah.
That's
Why are they fighting other than the fact that she's from Scotland and they had to get her on the card? I was at work watching this. I had to leave, distraction finish, and I didn't get to see the finish. I have no idea who won this match, and I didn't care enough to go back and look. Did I miss anything, Nick?
you missed the best part of the night.
Shut up.
I'm dead serious.
Because there was something stupid that happened?
Yes, that's it. Yes, that's it. You missed Nacho Chelsea. You
I
missed
saw her
Nacho
out there. What happened?
She gets kicked out because she's interfering. So the ref throws her out. And like shades of Viano 4 and Viano 5, man, she throws on a Rey Mysterio mask and comes back out one of the announcers, I think it must have been maybe Barrett, did a decent job, and he was like, they were like, "That's Chelsea Green." He's like, "Allegedly, it's Nacho Chelsea," and she gets on this mask, still gets involved again. It's sad that I'm saying this is my like highlight of the night.
I would have thought that was hilarious.
It was awesome. I thought it was hilarious, and they're pushing the wrong freaking person. Why is Chelsea Green? She is over everywhere she goes. How can people not hear this? The fans like her. She's great at what she can do. She can talk. Push Chelsea Green. Have her beat Bailey, for God's sakes.
Dude, everything about her is great. And she is a little over the top. I would like to see that, but that's her gimmick. Yeah. And with as stale as the women are right now, you have a girl who looks like a model. She's great talker, all of that. She's a girl you could put out on magazines and on the Tonight Show and all this stuff.
And you got
what are you doing? And she can wrestle too. She can
the Diesel's Michael things with Niven. Niven could be what protects her cowardness with that belt. Yep. You know, and leading to, you know, another match with those two down the road, got, you know, whatever. But I see money there, dollar signs.
I do too. All right, man. So we are on the main event now. Last match of the show. Hometown kid, Drew McIntyre, taking on Damian Priest for the Raw belt. I don't know what they call them anymore. Which one's which?
Why aren't they calling it the Raw and SmackDown belt? It would be so much easier. The WWE Raw belt, WWE SmackDown belt.
Yeah, basically. They come out to Scotland the Great. They got the bagpipe band come out. It was awesome, dude.
It was totally great. Plays pops.
You know, Piper vibes, you know, old school vibes. It was cool. They didn't react to the music when Drew's music finally hit, but then when he walked through the curtain, they went nuts. And that was cool, man. It was very cool. And so I thought we talked earlier, maybe the worst finish of all time in that Cody match. I think we may have gotten one up here with the finish here. And then what they showed in the aftermath online, we will get to it. Do you think the Priest thing was a botch with his leg?
Yes. It looked like he was supposed to either hit that and spring over on him, because it looked, and I'll give him this. If it wasn't, he sold it really well, because he kept worrying about it and he was hobbling on it for the rest of the match. And the ref couldn't get him out, and Drew McIntyre had to come get him out. And then Drew, I'll give him credit for this, explains to the crowd, they're like, "Why? I can't pin him if he's caught in the ropes. That's why I'm getting him out." Yeah. You know, like it makes it, but I mean, because you have to, you know, good thinking on your feet there, Drew. Because he yelled it right at.
I thought Drew did great as far as that goes. Yeah. Almost so well that I'm like, was that planned?
Even Andre was going, "I can't get caught in the ropes that well, brother." You know, it's like
Andre's mad he took his spot, brother.
Yeah. Andre wants him and Slaughter. They both have problems with people using their stuff.
So the finish, if you didn't see it, Drew looks like he's gonna win. The ref is knocked out. A new ref comes in, counts 1, 2, Nick Patrick style, doesn't count 3. The ref is CM Punk. Now, how CM Punk counts as an official, I have no idea, but he counts, and then Drew is like, what the heck? Starts beating up the official, who is CM Punk, gets blindsided. There we go. And Damian Priest retains the belt. Your thoughts on the finish, especially, but then the match?
Ryan, I'm not a person who usually says, like, oh, we're going overseas, give Regal the belt or something, or, let that. This was different.
Now twice.
We have friends here who I will say this, and if they're watching, you were wrong. He should not have beat Roman the first time they were there. I'm sorry.
You're out of your dang mind. I'll be harsher. You're an idiot.
But this one should have went home. They should have let this crowd erupt. There's no Damian Priest, I'm sorry, not there yet. You gave him the belt. He's legit. I think it brings him up to the point where he can now challenge, but let's see if he can do it. I just don't buy him as a world champion to me. I think he has ruined this belt a little bit to some degree as making it. I don't know if, well, I'm sure you remember. I don't know if all our viewers remember originally when they split Raw and SmackDown. It was so obvious what the B show was. I mean, JBL is the reigning champ on this other show. And you're like, it's the B title.
Right.
And in doing so, you ruined the IC and US titles because the other title became the second title. And what are these other ones? Yep. I feel we're in danger of that when you put it on guys like Damian Priest. This should have been Drew's match. I did not like the finish. And my other big issue, and I was texting one of our buddies, how do you do this back home? CM Punk is now the heel. There is no other. He is the bad guy. But you're heading in, if you're going to put these two in the match at SummerSlam, you're heading into SummerSlam 98 now. Because you've got a CM Punk crowd that's not going to boo him. He could kick a baby, and they're not going to boo him.
I'm going to go around and slap some babies.
I'm going to walk by and slap some babies, maybe.
But on the flip side, you've got your regular norm, and I hate to use the term, I'm just saying the standard run-of-the-mill wrestling fan who cheers heels and faces, they're going to cheer Drew McIntyre. So, and they may not, and some of the Punk fans may not necessarily want to boo one of them or other or both ways. You put the fans in a horrible situation.
Yeah, it's a face match or whatever. You split the crowd. And you've heard it a million times, and you said SummerSlam in 98. Both The Undertaker and especially Steve Austin have come out and said that match was terrible because the crowd didn't know what to do.
That was it. I've watched the match. The match isn't the worst thing ever. It's not. It's
Austin gets knocked out, and then he's kind of dizzy there for a while. But
that happened. I mean, that's something you can't plan for. But the crowd is just they're heavily behind Austin, but they don't want to boo the Undertaker. And it puts them in a bad spot. And I think that's what you're doing with this match. I thought this was why didn't he just win? I don't understand.
Yeah, you didn't need. We already saw Punk screw
a million times.
Yeah, I had a buddy too, and since this must be we're telling everybody our messages with Friends Day here because we keep talking about it. But I had a guy who just wrote to me, brilliant. All it said was brilliant. I'm like, I completely disagree. And he said, this made it personal. I'm like, it already was personal. These two have been not fighting, but feuding against each other for the last 5 months. Punk already screwed him out of the belt at WrestleMania. It was already personal. He didn't need to do this. There was
another screw job to get him out of a number one contender spot by Punk.
If they fight at SummerSlam and Drew's already the champ or whatever, it makes perfect sense. You didn't need to do this. It was already personal with these guys. So that it didn't make sense to me. And again, I'm with you. I don't care about the fans. Like, okay, I don't need you to win at home or anything. But with as screwy as the last Clash at the Castle was, and there are people, and I think they're wrong, that think he should have won then. I'm like, He wasn't even in his hometown. He was in
Would've ruined
freaking
your
Wales.
Cody.
That's
Would've
like
ruined your
that's
Cody.
like me winning a match, a basketball game in Indiana.
Right.
Well, he's at home. No, he's not. Wales is not Scotland. It's like there, but I don't get to win because I'm in Fort Wayne, Indiana at the Spies Fieldhouse. Like, that's Indiana. This is Michigan. Like, this is Michigan. Like, it's not the freaking same, dude. And
I don't know when she's coming back. I thought that would have also set up like what the hell happened for when Rios comes back. Like, since I've left, we have imploded. Liv Morgan is infiltrating us. Carlito has somehow joined the faction.
yeah,
Tag titles are no longer here. You were the world champ. I think
the
that would
giant
set
head
up-
dude is apparently in the faction now.
Yeah, I think that would set up a great issue for the return of Rhea
Yeah,
whenever
we've
that
lost
may
everything.
be. Yeah, be under Damian Priest's leadership. And maybe
So-
that could give Damian some sort of angle, story, something to juice, some juice or something.
They doubled down online and they made it even worse afterward. For some reason, there was a camera shooting CM Punk at the end of this match. Why CM Punk was even there is another question. But a camera crew was sitting on CM Punk for some reason at the end of this match, standing watching a television. When the ref gets knocked out, he gets a bright idea. Shockingly, he's watching it 6 feet away from referee Jessica, whatever her name is, who just happens to be standing there. I don't know why she was just standing there. What a coincidence. He then goes, give me a shirt. Give me your shirt. I need a shirt. I need a shirt. And she's like, why? Why do you need a shirt? Just give me a ref shirt. So also he was watching in a closet on a monitor right next to the referee, where all the referee gear apparently is at too. She hands him a shirt, which he then puts on and runs to the ring.
As officials do.
Yeah, because they
If
just
I-
give
if I-
away their
If
shirts.
I show up at the police office or a police
Yeah, give
station,
me
I'm
a
like,
shirt.
can I get a uniform? They're like, yeah, here's a uniform. Or take a badge too.
That's awful. It's awful. Why was he there? Why was he with her? Why did she have an extra shirt that just fit him? She's a woman.
Why didn't
he's a
she
dude.
run out? Why didn't she run the hell
And
out?
thank you. And that was going to be the worst part of all. Instead of her going out there to fill in, she's just in the back playing in her gym bag.
This pay-per-view is
Why did she not go down and make the count?
awful.
What are we doing? That's what Pat Patterson died again. Like, Pat Patterson woke up and then killed himself. That is so bad. And the fact that they thought it was a good idea to put that on social media to try to explain what actually happened. No, brother, you made it way worse.
You're turning him heel. Why doesn't he beat up a referee in
You're
the back?
turning the company heel.
Right, you are. But I mean, there's so many other. But I wouldn't have done this anyway. But he could have beat the referee up, not having it be the female one. But
Yeah.
he just gets help, and then you got Wade Barrett who's demanding he gets suspended or fired.
Yes, fired.
And
They should fire the ref, the girl.
And here's my I am betting he was told, because I don't think Punk is cleared, is my guess. And I'm going to bet that he is going to get suspended or something for this, because he said he's not going to be back Monday. He's coming Friday to SmackDown, it looks like. How he can just move shows, that's cool. But that would be my guess at why Wade Barrett is screaming that he should be, because in all actuality, he really should be. Like, if you're really running a company, he should be in trouble for what.
Jessica
And
should
she
be
should
fired.
be fired. Yes,
She should be
she
fired.
should be fired.
She should
Yeah.
be tag team reffing with Aubrey Edwards Wednesday. Like, she should be out of here.
No one deserves that.
That's how does that happen? You just give away your gear?
It's so dumb. This had so many, from the handcuffing incident with Cody to this. To just so much more of this nonsense that is coming in. I get it. You need to tell a story, but oh my God, sometimes just
Don't
wrestle
tell
the
a bad
match.
one.
Yeah, and sometimes just wrestle the match, and just the
Yeah,
story should been
it
told.
stinks, Nick. It stinks
does.
because, like we said at the top, we had like a 2-year run where, like, wow, I can't believe how good this was. Wow, this is way better than I thought it'd be. And I had no expectations for either of the last two pay-per-views,
Especially,
but they are gutter,
awful.
gutter. Like,
Especially this time of year, Ryan. I have been shocked because after WrestleMania, these Backlash or whatever these pay-per-views are called, usually you're like, meh, like
Yeah.
we're going into these.
and they were
You have
shockingly
said
good.
the last couple years, 2 years ago or so, we had that Uso, the Bloodline 6-man tag, versus, which was a good pay-per-view.
Yeah, Orton's
And-
last match. Yep.
Yeah, and we had some of these other ones last year. You go into them thinking, we came out going, this was pretty
Great.
stinking
I was
good.
entertained.
And
yeah.
especially if you liked wrestling. If you were a WWF/E wrestling fan, these were for you. This belongs. I don't
It's
know.
not
on
even the
indies.
show, Nick. It's not even like, oh, it was a bad match or this. It
I
was
think they were
the goofiness, like
The go-
what we're
Yeah,
talking
it is.
about, this Punk thing. Why would the referee do this? The finish. Why did AJ all of a sudden get scared after 45 minutes? He's scared now. Like things like that just go against everything.
It's what they had been doing right, Ryan, and what AEW. I'm not taking a shot that me and you have said. AEW and their creative team needs a guy in the corner, the red team or the red guy, who what he does is sit there and says, "Wait a minute."
He has a button
Savage-
that goes, wrong.
Savage and Steamboat can't be on the same team. He just wrecked him with a freaking bell to the larynx. Like,
Gotta crush larynx, brother.
you need a guy over there because they do so much stuff like that. And this pay-per-view did feel like that. There was so much that just didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Or holes
Or
or
it's
like
just
why.
stupid.
And for people that think we nitpick, this is why, the Star Wars. I mean, that's why they didn't work, because it was the little things in those new movies. Like, oh my God, this girl just learned the Force in 15 minutes. What the hell? When is that possible?
Well, butthole eyes
yeah,
or the girl?
no, Ray.
Ray. Oh yeah.
She learned the Force in 15 minutes, man. The
Yeah.
Jedi mind. You're breaking. Things don't make sense, and that's what. And I get it. Wrestling is I'm not saying it's an in-depth story or anything like that. But
Yeah,
for
nobody's
gosh,
asking for this to be Shakespeare.
no.
But
But
I mean,
also, I think
don't make it fun with numbers coloring book over
And
here.
I'm hoping some of our audience feels the same way. Don't disrespect me though. Don't slap me in the
That's
face
their
and
words.
think I'm that stupid that I don't see the ref standing at Chad Gable for a lot longer while stuff is going on behind his back. Like, why the referee giving Punk the shirt? Like, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, see AJ Styles not getting rid of the key, dropping it in the middle of the.
Dumb. SummerSlam, Nick, and moving forward.
2 nights coming up.
Yeah. Terrific. 2 nights in 2 years, by the way. So get ready. Make sure
2
your
years,
calendar is clear.
Too much wrestling, but too much.
SummerSlam and moving forward.
I think you're
we
getting
have
Solo
one more
Cody.
pay-per-view. Do you?
Well, they came out after
he
that
came
match.
out, yep.
And this is what kind of I think Roman doesn't wrestle on the show, but he returns. And I've said this on one of our earlier shows, and maybe I'll be right, maybe I won't. I think Cody is, because this is how they build Cody. There's always the normal odds for a human being, and then what Cody has to overcome to do something, right? And I think that's going to happen at SummerSlam. Sorry, right? That's what his story is, though.
Aliens came down, brother. You wouldn't believe it.
But it's going to be the bloodline is going to have him pinned. Like, it's like Solo and his goons. I got him. I think you're going to get the Tribal Chiefs music.
In the Roman costs.
Solo. Yes.
Okay.
Solo. Yeah, and then I think you set that because I don't know where The Rock is, what he's doing, his availability.
Well, he got hurt.
I heard that.
Right.
So
yeah, I don't know what happened there.
He said, and I just read something. This was his words, not mine. He said they're on the 1 yard line, Ryan, about WrestleMania 41.
From the greatest WrestleMania ever.
Okay. But that
Better not be him and Cody. I'll tell you that.
Me too. So I think that's where Cody goes at WrestleMania. It looks like now, if Punk's back, we're getting Punk, McIntyre.
Yep.
Looks maybe Gunther.
No title. Gunther, Drew McIntyre.
No, Gunther Priest would be because
Or
Gunther
excuse
is one.
me, yeah, Priest.
I assume.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Now that does get the belt on Gunther easily.
Yeah.
Because him fighting Punk or him fighting Cody or Drew, then you're like, what are we doing here? I guess if he fights Priest, that's a clean win. Gunther better freaking win that. But who the frick wants to watch that match?
It'll go off first.
Better.
Yeah, it's like I'm sorry. This Priest thing is not working for me, brother.
It has. I don't get it. I don't even think he has a look. I think he looks kind of stupid, to be honest with you. Like,
for everybody out there, Ryan, this dude has been pushed so hard. Remember when he was US? He was like undefeated for like a year when he had that US title. Oh, frick yes! This dude took forever to get his first loss.
I don't think
this guy has been pushed and pushed and pushed, and to me, even the way he talks slow. He seems like a wannabe Roman to me with eyeliner. It's.
I think I just snorted. Yeah, that we've said that from the beginning. Like as soon as Edge left this group, the thing they do in the back all the time, we're like, is this like the Wish version of freaking the Bloodline? Like that's what they try to do all the time. And I'll be honest, man. I was at work last Monday and Raw was on. Every single time I looked up, either Live or the Judgment Day was on my screen.
The whole show.
Never once wanted to even turn the volume up because I'm like, I don't want to hear what you're saying. And the one time I did turn it up,
some NXT guy you don't know,
Priest was talking. Yeah, Priest was talking in the back, and it was Dominic. What happened with Liv? What is going on? Why did she give you a hotel room key? Click.
It's almost like you must answer the 3 riddles, please, to cross the bridge.
It's like Rosie the robot from the Jetsons or something. Like beep, bop, boop, bop, boop, boop, boop. If he would have said that, it wouldn't have surprised me. Dominic, what is the hotel room number? Is it beep bop boop boop bop bop? I mean, he sounds like
At least he's not shooting imaginary arrows, I guess.
Good grief. And doing this. Remember when he used to do this?
Oh God.
Dude, I'm sorry, man. I'm really
this
down on wrestling right now.
Me too.
Like both channels, both companies. It's not good.
I can find out what time Impact's on for you. Nick Namath.
Is that a company? It's not good, man. And I'm sorry. They're missing something very big, and his name is Roman Reigns. None of this is interesting to me.
They got to get a little bit better because they've got some people like we and you have said. Bianca is money. She's just a little stale right now.
Yeah.
Cargill needs some more
everything.
Yes. But you've got people. I just feel you haven't developed a lot of people enough to fight these people. I don't know. It's almost turning in, and this has been one of my critiques on Dynamite. Is I try to watch it, folks. I keep trying to give it a chance. I keep finding myself going, who the hell is this? Like, I don't know who this guy is.
Especially right now, because it's their Forbidden Door time. So they have all these other companies who are just randomly showing up.
I don't know who you are.
Well, it's because you're a casual.
That's fine. Yeah, I don't, guys. I don't watch IWGP whatever, or I don't. If Impact, I see it. I don't know what time it's on, like 3 a.m. on Thursday
they don't either.
Or something. But no, I try to watch these, but I just need a little bit more, and it's happening on WWE. It's just, he's from NXT. Of course, it's the Creed brothers. I don't know who these people are. I don't watch NXT. Like I can't get excited, mad, angry. They're just dudes.
Yeah.
Like it just. I mean, everybody seems like Johnny Gargano to me, and I don't want that because to me he is.
Nobody does.
He is the definition of why he should have been. He's born in the wrong era. He should have been born.
Talent
on Sunday
name.
Mornings. Should have been wrestling on Sunday mornings about 40 years ago.
And
Job
losing,
being
right?
yes, enhancement talent.
Yeah. Dude, Johnny Gargano is the epitome of talent name. Idiot.
Oh my God, yes. Talent name, yes. Jeez. I still can't. Who botches that, man? On your champ,
Dude,
on your top guy.
never makes
my
their
God.
production is so good. Like if they miss a camera cut or something, that's like the worst thing that
know.
ever happens. To bring up talent name, oh man, that was
We've
tough.
always
Now
said that,
it
and
went away right away, but
even
still.
as they have always been great too, even in the bad eras. Like you'll sit there and I'll go back and I'll watch something from '95, and before they'll have the buildup, I'm like, whoa, this sounds like I must have missed something. It might have been pretty good. No, it was just the production guys that made garbage into
Chicken
diamonds.
salad,
Yeah, it's something to sell you, and then the product walked through the curtains, and you were like, ugh.
Well, boys, apologize again for being so negative today. I thought this was bad, man.
It was.
And like, not just it wasn't good. Like, you're slapping me in the face, ignorant, terrible mistakes, bad.
Yes.
Especially with the two main events, the two world title matches had finishes that made me feel like an idiot for spending my Saturday watching.
And I hope didn't cost them some fans overseas. How many times can you dangle the carrot in front of the people and not give them the carrot?
They got the women's tag team championship.
Who cares? Even Las Vegas lets people win sometimes, man.
Sometimes. Yeah. Yeah, no doubt, dude. Well, Nick, appreciate it. Everybody out there, appreciate you as always. If you can, please hit like, please hit subscribe. If you're on Facebook or Twitter or something, please share this so other people can see it. We would very much appreciate that. As always, we will have more reviews for you. We also have some SummerSlam lead-in coming up this summer, so make sure you check out those things as well. But for now, job, guys.
You smell something, it's us, because we're the stuff.